Welcome to Primary ypww Lesson 8. Today's topic is Miracles, the Handwriting on the Wall. Our lesson scripture is coming out of Daniel chapter 5, verses 1 through 8, then verse 13, and then verses 25 through 28. The memory verse: In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. And that's Daniel chapter 5, verse 5. The target for today's lesson: the Lord wants his children to know that he can also use miracles to give prophecies. King Belshazzar was the son of King Nebuchadnezzar. He liked to have wild parties and big feasts. One day he decided to invite 1,000 noblemen and many women to join him in one of these drunken parties. He would use the vessels of the house of God to drink from while he and the people praised their many false gods. This was a big problem. Belshazzar brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple. The kings, princes, wives, and servant girls drank from them. This dishonored God. While they were celebrating, a hand appeared out of nowhere. The fingers of a man's hand began to write on the wall of the king's palace. The king saw the part of the hand that had written. It scared him so bad that his knees began to knock. He cried, "Bring the astrologers, magicians, and fortune tellers to read this writing to me." But none could read the writing or understand it. Daniel was a prophet of God. He was very wise. He could read the writing. He was brought to the kingdom and interpreted the writing on the wall. He began by explaining to Belshazzar that it was God who had given his father Nebuchadnezzar the kingdom. His dad's heart had been lifted up in pride, but God brought him down and made him live like an animal. You knew what happened to your dad, but you did not humble yourself. Instead of giving glory, you dishonor God who holds your breath in his hand. The handwriting on the wall told the king that judgment had come upon him. God has numbered the days of your kingdom, and it is at the end. God weighed the balances and found you lacking. Now your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. It said, that same night, the prophecy that was declared came to pass. The questions for today's lesson. Number 1. How many noblemen did King Belshazzar invite to his wild party? Number 2. From what did he use for the people to drink? Why was this wrong? And number 3. Who could read and understand the handwriting on the wall? And name one thing it declared. The end. God bless you and thank you for joining me today.